Alright. We seem to be back. All you missed was just a little bit of pull down. I'm not going to get into a big rant about all kinds of things um, relating to this architecture until the stream seems stable. Just going to shut up for a while and just pour. Minus 120 at the moment. Okay, so just a few little things. This chip, at least on this board, it's basically the only board I have at the moment for unlocking. On this board, it will post with 4 cores, but it won't boot XP no matter what. Maybe I should have just bumped like vCore or something. I'm sure there's some way of getting it running, maybe on a gigabyte board. But funnily enough, it's one of the few Heka chips that doesn't seem to unlock, basically. Almost there now. Okay, so that's why I'm running a 3 cores. That does appear to be somewhat of a efficiency advantage. Well, I mean, there's another core to bin through if you unlock all 4. So a lot of people are running SuperPi on 4 chips, 4 cores, but I just can't do it. This is roughly, I wouldn't be able to run 32M here, but this is roughly what the IMC will do on this chip. Probably about 820 C6 for SuperPi 1M, and for 32M it wouldn't even pass this, I don't think. But for 32M I'm going up against someone on DDR2 on DDR2 at 600 C5. So hopefully that'll still be enough. There's also W prime, but I'll start with 1M. Just about full pot now. Ooh, and it actually rebooted. I'll bump up the north bridge just a tiny bit. So yeah, the shock of going full pot can cause a reboot, but then once you've re-entered OS at full pot, it's fine. Neither the board nor the chip have a cold bug or cold boot bug. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a great start. Let's go 1.6 volts North Bridge. It's on auto at the moment. So what fine folk do we have in the chat? Oh, White Shark. My favorite shark. Okay, offset is just a bad idea in general. Let's go 1.5 and 1.6. And I forgot to disable these. That's never a good idea. Ah, fuck all that. Okay, that should be more reasonable. Yeah, so we've got Rave, White Shark, and Mick, and Ginger. Hi to all of you. Yeah, so Hika really hasn't been overclocked in about 10 years. Alright, let's go down one multiplier for now. It's not going to give... 1M scales insanely well with Northbridge, so I'm not going to get a good score here, but I just want to dial in everything else, and then I can still decide to up Northbridge voltage. So when I took the frequency gold for this chip, I beat something said about 10 years ago in 2009. The 1M is about 10 years old. The 32M I think is about 9 or 10 years old. I've gotten that error before with high Northbridge. As one of my cameras keeps refocusing. Let me fix that. There we go. That's what we call infinity. That would be fun to re-image this early, but okay. To A. Was I being too optimistic when I thought to myself, there's not going to be a lot of boot failures today, so what's the point in a post-code cam? I think I was kind of wrong. Alright. Time for the other bias. Okay, that's a post. So what sometimes works on this board is switching bias straight back. Ginger, go exclamation mark beer. That's what I'm drinking, but I'm also glad to show it on camera. Not as good as your homebrew, of course. Okay, that's what dual bias is there for. Let's go other bias, and these old boards have pretty easy biases to work with, so it won't take me long to set up a new profile, basically. I'm wondering if that other chip is actually having issues in general, because it always seems like that chip is a bit flimsy. Okay, what we want is 240, 800. Full LSC on both. Set that manually, and let's just do a quick reboot. Don't want to set too many settings at once. And not gonna pour. Go 8. That should do for now. What the hell? Help me here. There's supposed to be manual mode as well. Am I blind? Why is it only offset? Because it's a different bias. Well then. Time to flash. Time to flash a bias code. Isn't this fun? So do we need? We need our crosshair 4. $22.02. This is what I'm here for, a realistic depiction of what overclocking is like. Failure upon failure, and then 1 or 2 successes. And I'm going to have to reboot to get the USB drive to be recognized. Don't want to get too warm. Just pour a little bit. This is what a broken thermos looks like. I've already thrown one out. I need to empty this out as quickly as possible. Pretty much. So it's giving me unknown result, which is kind of interesting. All right. Let's try that again. Actually, need to. Okay. Yes. Dead. Very, very, very dead. Alright, let's copy over this bias file again. Crosshair 4 extreme. Let's go in the root, just in case. Let's safely eject. All right. Have you been making any homebrew lately, Ginger? Overclocking is figuring out 1,000 ways to fail so we can succeed. I couldn't agree more. I could honestly not agree more. That's it's very poetic of you. Yes, okay. Yeah, the Earl Grey beer. You've been talking about that for a while. Save some for Country Cup so I can try it. So this is what gets me. Here we have a board called Crosshair 4 Extreme. Yet one of the early biases doesn't have manual VCore mode, only offset. What kind of absolute utter garbage is that? Hey, it's extreme, but not extreme enough to let you choose your own voltages. Alright, this is it. You mean Crosshair Formula? That's what they used to call them. Back in the Crosshair 4 days, you had a Crosshair Formula and a Crosshair Extreme. Now you just have a hero, and then for X470, they may change that again by all leaks, if leaks are to be believed. The other weird thing this board does is it after a bias flash, it just sort of boot loops, and it looks like you fucked up the bias flash, which is certainly still a possibility. But it's actually just it just wants you to clear CMOS right after bias flash, which is kind of nonsensical if you think about it. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some sense to it, but it's just a bit stupid. Okay, once more onto the breach. That's all I'm going to do actually, that and disable the devices. And see if my XP is still in shape. Yeah, well, I know there's an extreme. I've overclocked it on LN2 and it's garbage. I don't think it's worth a mention. Thanks for mentioning it for completeness, but in actual fact, it's not worth a mention. Ta-da! My Windows is finally not corrupted anymore. Isn't that strange? Alright, gonna reboot straight away. The 6. This is the 4, and I can't talk highly enough about the 4, but the 6 is utter garbage. The best Threadripper board? None. But if you put a gun to my head, I would say the ASRock M80X. Lots of bad choices on that platform as it stands today, and by all accounts, it may get worse. Then again, you could believe Gamers Nexus leak, which said that it's somehow going to be Threadripper is somehow going to be merged into the same chipset as AM4, which I'm a bit skeptical about. But see here, this option right here, didn't exist in the other BIOS. Okay, let's full pod. There we go. Okay. Enabled 1.5. Let's leave it on auto for now. Fuck OCP. What a waste of time. Go easy. Okay. Hey, keep H8N. Keep hating? Keep hating. Okay, that took a while to sink in, sorry. How are you doing? It's morning for you, so I'm guessing you're in Europe somewhere? It's the evening for me. It's 20 past 9 in the PM. Yeah, it's really not liking Northbridge frequency, is it? At all. White Shark, I was referring to some suggestions being made by some people that Threadripper is kind of being de-emphasized a bit by, you know, basically upping the core count to some degree on the mainstream platform. And not wanting to make a separate chipset anymore and all that kind of stuff. What is going on here? America. East Coast, I'm guessing. TR4 is your jam. It's a cool platform. Yeah, it's not liking that DRAM frequency. Alright, let's run a bit of W prime. I'm going to pull it up. 32M, our target's 8 seconds 719 at 5.6. Ugh. Alright, that was not intentional. Let's flip our screens here a bit. This is what I was trying to show. Okay. Right. 1.7 V core, full pod obviously, and that should be good to go really. For the benefit of the viewing audience, I'm gonna not use the minimize trick for now. Okay, let's go 1.75. I think is a good sort of middle ground on this platform. It is 45 nanometer, but let's get started on a easier sort of note. Ugh. Right, what's okay, that's 3 gigahertz. That's kind of laughable. 4, let's go 18, 4.8. 5.3, okay. So 2 more mults. 5.5, okay, that's a good starting point. 5.5. I'm gonna leave everything open. I don't know what my multi-core stability is like. I've only been to single core on this chip so far, so let's see. That looks like it's going to complete. 8.781. Okay, 60 more milliseconds. I might just save it just as a reference point. Oh, that's a hang. Okay, 8.781. 8.781 at 23 times 240 real at 1.75 V core. Okay, it's a promising start. Zero zero on this board means it's booting Windows. It can also mean chip is dead, but in the context of a number of different postcodes, it means booting Windows. Oh, you've got a 32 core, nice. There's a new Windows patch out for thread scheduling that is supposed to do quite a bit of good for Threadripper. So check that out. So that was 23 mult. I'm gonna go in here and cheat a bit and get a half mults. So we want 23.5. Okay, that's 5.7. We're all good there. Okay. Yeah, that needs more VCore. Let's try the same at 1.8 VCore. It must be just one of the cores is a bit weaker or something. I'm just gonna try and keep my talking to a minimum. My voice really is a bit suboptimal tonight, and I'm making it much worse by drinking pale ale. What do you think? Should I dim this screen? Do you hate that glare on the pot? On, off, on, off. You decide. Yeah, let's go 1.8. And let's get our W prime ready. Okay. Complete, please. So we can knock this one bench off. All right. There you have it. I don't have a screenshotter utility. I don't know what's wrong with this OS. It didn't accept both of my screenshotting utilities, so I'm going to be a complete noob and screenshot using MS Paint. Commence the memes and the jokes, please. And it just hanged itself again. All right, there you go. Screenshot that. I should stop fucking around with CPU Z tabs. But that was more stable, so maybe like a little bit more VCore. That was in the 8.5 range. I keep the windows open actually. Don't we love benching? About to run out of LN2, so let's get this shit done. Okay, so we need this tab and this tab like this. Actually, I don't care about the performance hit. I just want the gold. $1.85. That'll do. Okay. I'm basically gonna throw the rig into slow mode essentially, and just pour a little bit, and then I need to get a little bit more LN2. What did I miss? Okay, 1024. I'm not gonna kill Explorer. Gonna minimize these. Ooh. %10 is 27 seconds, so that's 270 seconds. That's 4.5 minutes. Okay, that seems reasonable. It's gonna be tight. About 53 seconds for 20%. 53 times 5. Divided by 60. That's 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Okay, and I need to beat this guy, not this guy. Yeah, this guy. To 276. So I have about an 11-second buffer. You know what really annoys me about streaming? I just overfilled the pot. So I can't really put a light directly on here. As I'm showing you something that I'm not showing. I can't put a light directly on the pot here, so I can actually see inside there, so I always overfill it, so I'm always wasting LN2. Okay, the 50% mark will be big. 50% is 136 seconds. That's still on okay, 136, so that's 172. Okay, I have a 4-second buffer. Thereabouts. We're still running. Ah, come on, please. 66% is 180. So it's 270 seconds roughly. So we're still we're still on track. This chugs LN2. Are you not excited, chat? I really can't see how much LN2 there is in the pot. I can only look at my temp probe, which is reading 182, which would give you the impression that I'm not at full pot, but it's actually just the heat load. I don't want to rerun this bench. It's only 35 hardware points. I want to move on to 1M after this. I want to move on to 1M. Are we beating 276.3? Just about. Can't maximize CPU Z. I cannot maximize CPU Z to save my life. Okay, gonna have to run it with CPU Z maximized, easy. And fucking paint open. I don't give a shit. I just want to finish this run. Couldn't make it up. Okay, CPU Z maximized, paint open, and maybe add a BCLK or two to compensate. Fucking hell. Thought I had it there. I did think I had it there. I definitely thought I had it there. I cannot lie. I didn't have the expectation of having that crash on me there. I just can't lie. That is bitterly disappointing. Let's run 32M as a palette cleanser. Just gonna bump it up a BCLK or two, just to make sure I don't, because it was quite tight. I don't want to lose the run. I don't want to be second just because I'm opening all these other applications. Okay. Fine, folks. This is it. Yeah, we're still sort of on 270 pace. If anyone thinks the run is slow, just shout out. Don't let me waste time and effort in LN2 on a run that's going to be slow. But I think I have sort of have the numbers left in my head, so you're modded, right? White Shark. Indeed you are, okay. Yeah, around the 90-second mark for 33% is what I remember last run, so that's all good. I don't know whether to leave it and let it sort of thermally adjust after the run or just grab the screenshot as quickly as I can. That just really depends depends on the platform. Some platforms are just prone to hanging up while idling. Yeah, so this is the target. And our 50% was right on the 270 mark again, so that's good. That's good. Everything needs to be modded. I don't disagree, White Shark. Tell me what you're benching. I know I ask this question so often, but I do really like to hear what other people are benching. It's fun for me to hear what anything. If you're benching DDR1 max valid, I want to hear about it. Honestly, I just any type of benching. Now, if it's Cadzilla, I'm not going to lie, I will judge you a little bit, but there are very few benchmarks otherwise that I have any kind of problem with. All benching is good benching. I don't want to say we're sort of a dying breed or something, but there are definitely not enough of us. 80% mark. Okay, if you're not benching, oh, you're modding stuff. Okay, but for me, it's also interesting to hear why people aren't benching. Are they not benching because they don't have the money, or they don't have the time, or they don't have the motivation, or some sort of combination of all those things, or they don't know what to bench, or yeah. For me, sometimes it's motivation, sometimes it's time. Um, I wouldn't bench if I didn't think I could spend the money on it. I'm not saying it's like it is definitely a big expense, but okay. Alright, that's saved. Fucking hell. Beat him by 4 seconds or so. And there's the hang. It's just that thermal load coming off of it. Okay. I did remove maximum earlier on this OS, and I'm starting to think that's the reason I can't boot higher DRAM frequency. So I'm just going to set maximum now. It doesn't do anything to my 32M times on this platform, but if it lets me boot higher RAM frequencies, then you know that's obviously a very good reason to set it. I'm glad W Prime is over. W Prime is not my favorite bench, but on older platforms it's just the only multi-threaded bench that will get you, that just has been benched. I don't like benching a benchmark on LN2 as the only person with LN2, because then people can just turn around and say, well duh, of course you're first. But if you beat good benchers, well, people would just say have a good bin, but that's still better than being told, well, of course you're first. You're the only one on cold. And the points help, of course, as well. Okay, let's just validate that. You know, reboot, make sure it's maximum is set, then reboot again. Go to the higher memory strap, try to boot into Windows, and then up the North Bridge a little bit. And then I'll be at a point where it makes sense to run a 1M. I already have the second place for 1M. But I want first, of course. Okay, I'm just going to flip my goddamn Windows here because this is just annoying me. Boom. Right. Here we go. 1M. Number first for 1M is an utter legend of AMD overclocking called Chu. I am humbled, and I say this without, like, with all sincerity, I'm humbled to be in the same ranking as Chu, and I'm going to try and beat him now. But he is on DDR2. DDR2 1200. Okay, so that is our target. Oh, hold on. Am I dumb? Where's physical memory? Here we go. Okay. Yes, 640 is set. Let's reboot straight away. Hi, Truth. I assume it's Truth. It could be Zyala too, but it's usually Truth on Overclocking TV. Thanks for joining the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm overclocking Heka, which is an ancient platform, really, by all accounts. And I just beat both W Prime records. I'm glad you can drop into my stream. I'm no longer plagued with as many technical difficulties as I was months ago, but my voice is going because I do have a cold. But I have LN2 here that's been sitting here for weeks, and I have a chip that is an unbelievable bin. So I'd rather stream. I would rather stream these overclocking escapades than not stream them, just because my voice is going. Okay, what else can we do? We can actually explicitly lower the North Bridge. That's certainly something we can do. We can also go higher. So we can go 300 FSB and still get the same DRAM out of it. Oh. It's really curious. All right, let's just try a different memory strap, or try loosen the RAM first. After that, we can try a different memory strap at a different BCLK. I was literally running this earlier on air. No. Okay, I'm gonna go down a memory strap, and if it's really just that, it's kind of weird. This chip does about 320 BCLK without much messing with minor voltages. Yeah. Okay, let's just fully boot it, and then I can go to 300 BCLK and get the same RAM frequency. Where's my beer? Don't want to vary the temp too much. See, we are at 640, which is just an utter disgrace, really. Let's go 290 BCLK, and then we could up the BCLK in. Let's go 280 even, just to see what the system is sort of generally doing. Is RAM just completely fucked, or is it just a little bit of like caressing that we have to do to get it to where it needs to go? Because my 1M, my current 1M is at 720 something RAM, and at the time I thought I was just being dumb, but maybe it actually doesn't like the cold. Whereas CPU Northbridge loves the cold universally on every chip I've frozen basically that has the CPU Northbridge concept. But it wouldn't surprise me if these early stepping M3 chips scale negatively with cold. Which, of course, straight away begs the question. No, I think I might, yeah. That straight away begs the question, you know, could you boot into Windows really warm and then pull down in Windows? Yeah, that seems low. Let's just... Not really sure what's going on here. My sticks are dry. I basically rejigged my whole fan setup purposely to keep the sticks as dry and as warm as possible. I mean, not as warm as possible, but as close to ambient as possible, really. Okay, what did I just change? So my CPU Northbridge. Okay, I can work with that. Let's immediately try to boot 300. So we should be in the 7 something range here. 750, okay. Auto does weird things on this board. I've seen an auto of 1.45 indicated in BIOS for CPU Northbridge, and I've seen an auto just now of 1.15. How could there be a 300 millivolt difference in the auto voltage, no matter what else you set? What is that? What does that even mean? What criteria are they employing here? Okay, that's fine. I can BCLK up. I'll just fine tune the right BCLK to actually still be able to boot, and then BCLK up in OS. That's fine. Still not need to get my timings though. Getting warm again. Come on, Windows. You know you want to boot. No. Okay. I hope I can go back down to 280, because if it doesn't do 280, then that means there was a temperature component as well to this 280, or it was a fluke. I was at minus 170 when that happened, so... But let's go 280, and if I can replicate the 280, I'll go back to CL6 and then BCLK up to 20 in OS, or somewhere close to the 20 in OS. This is still manageable. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest, but it all makes sense now if I combine it with my findings from my previous cold session on this chip. That seemed like it might almost have booted. Oh dear, oh dear. Let's try a little bit more CPU Northbridge. The 41st live stream already. Not sure I thought I would get here, but it's all good. We're a little bit warmer as well. Minus 170. Okay, let's do timings, reboot, do Northbridge, reboot, and then BCLK up and do a run. Fuck actually getting into Windows. I know it's gonna get there. Benching the world with TR4. Okay, we're onto something here. Yeah, so here we've got our 750, but our North Bridge is still very, very pleb level. I want above 3G, but I'll do it in steps. I'll do 2.5, then 3, then push for like 3.4. No, I think 3.2 because I'm BCLKing up, so I think. Okay, 2.8. Surely 2.8. Please give me 2.8. Okay, that's posting. I don't very often get a boot failure, but I may as well just go part of the way into the boot cycle. Northbridge doesn't usually cause a boot failure. Yeah. I mean, it causes that error, but it doesn't usually cause an actual boot failure, like a hang on the Windows logo, that kind of thing. Don't know how much further I have to go with these voltages. Oh. Let's go one multiplier down. I have to get more LN2 anyway. Need it on the beer too. Okay. Time for 1.7. And I'm going to maintain full pod, so just to help the North Bridge along. Don't think I went to over 1.6 when I did my 3.2 gigahertz North Bridge for 1M, but I was also at a lower BCLK and at a lower DRAM. So let's see what goes on here. Just a teeny bit disappointing, isn't it? I'm glad I got the W prime results at least. They are multiplier holes as well, so I'm just gonna iterate through a few different multipliers as well, just in case that's a factor here. I know the 13 multiplier for the North Bridge is completely broken. Very interesting what's going on here. I only have one 720 black edition, so it's not like I've mixed up the chip somehow. Let's just go a tiny bit lower on the BCLK. In case having a colder is making the RAM training worse, basically. I also have one more strap for the for CPU North Bridge to try. Okay, let's try that strap. Okay, now I'm gonna try and clock CPU North Bridge completely independently of RAM. I'm gonna drop RAM all the way down. Well, there's only one more multiplier, but you know. To make sure there's no actual corruption of the OS, I'm gonna drop both of them down. Just quickly going all the way down. Oh. Alright. Windows XP, you've convinced me. That is a genuinely corrupted image. Not just a fake corrupted one. Just doing a quick restore here. System looks healthy otherwise. Sticks are bone dry. I'm not going to pull more than the 2 liters of LN2 here if I can't get this going up and running straight after the restore. At least XP restores are quick because they're under 1 gigabyte. Sometimes when you're restoring a 3D image, you may as well go to sleep. It takes so long. Okay, that's the restore done. The only other thing to watch out for is AHCI mode. Sometimes, or ID mode flips to AHCI, which is just, I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me. Okay, that's, I'm going to avoid aborting boots. I'm going to try and shut the OS down regularly and everything just to make sure that, and you know, the other thing I'm going to try is I'm going to try and boot at full pot. In case we have some sort of temperature related cold bug or something going on here. seems alright. Temperature related noise corruption, or wrong, I should say. Okay, let's clock the North Bridge on its own first. Let's go sort of 2.8 at the stock base clock. That would be a good. That would give me a good idea of where we're at here. I just keep it full pot because I know now that that full pot on its own doesn't cause a boot failure. There may still be an issue where. Okay. Alright, this is giving me some sort of level of confidence now that I'm not imagining things and there's no complex interactions between voltages and temperatures going on here, and it was just an OS that was on its way out. Robo voice, not sure, there shouldn't be. Let's just keep working up the North Bridge here. Below 3G, really, I don't see how you can get an efficient 1M out. I think a 32M with everything else absolutely flawless. I've seen some subs at sort of 2.5 North Bridge that are quite impressive, but for 1M, you just need that. Okay. Is there still robo voice for you, White Shark? Here's a 3.2. When I was done re-imaging. So my other one was at 3.27. If I could get 3.4 running, that would be really sweet. Then I have a shot at 47 points. First place in 1M. That looks like a hang though. Oh, it's just the capture card that had an issue. A permanent issue, it seems like. Might have to restart the stream. I don't know if I'm going to be back, to be honest. But my capture card is definitely out at the moment. If I can't fix it, you saw 2 W Prime golds. But it's just that, yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can get it running.